There were a couple NBA games last night that we're going to focus on a little bit here before we get into the slate, starting with our thoughts on that Sixers and Celtics game. Now, we did bet Sixers money line versus the Celtics. It was a bit of a riskier bet on opening night, but did feel like they were the better team heading into this game, despite how well Boston looked in the playoffs last year. And we'll call spade a spade. We were wrong. 126 to 117 was the final in that game. Now, I don't know how many nights moving forward we're going to see both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have 35 points each. They also had some good bench contributions in this game, like Malcolm Brogdon, who they signed in the summer. He had 16. Grant Williams had 15. And all of them shot above 50%. So when everyone is firing on all cylinders, then yes, you're going to look really good on opening night. Now, I still believe Boston's a contender in the Eastern Conference. I'm not going to go as far as to say that they're not, but I do think that Philadelphia, we did see some promising signs in this game, especially from James Harden. He had 35, 8, and 7 on opening night. We may see Harden like he played in Houston, which we haven't seen for a number of years. And then you had Embiid had a double-double. You had Maxey with over 20 points. You had Tobias Harris with 18. They just need to figure out this bench a little bit more. If they can figure out a way to mix in Montrezl Harrell, mix in DeAndre Melton, even Daniel House, there is some bench contributions that can be had there, and I still like Philadelphia moving forward. We also have to talk about the fact that maybe this is just a bad matchup, and when it comes to the Eastern Conference this year, especially come playoff time, that's going to matter who you get to match up against. So if the Sixers avoid the Celtics, they could go all the way to the finals. But if they do match up with this Celtics team, then it might just be a bad matchup for them. Then you had Golden State -6 versus the Lakers, my LA Lakers. And let's face it, I ended up picking Golden State to win the game. And they didn't even look great and still won this game. It was 123 to 109. Still wasn't a great shooting performance for the Warriors on opening night. They did finish with 16 threes, but they really struggled in the first half. And once they caught their shooting form, then they pulled away. So Steph, he finished with 33, 7, and 6. Andrew Wiggins had 20 points as well. So he did well on opening night. But this Lakers team from downtown, they were 10 of 40. This is where they're going to struggle for the majority of the year, I think, is this three-point shooting. But the 3 stars, and I called them 2 stars yesterday, looked pretty good. LeBron was 31, 14, and 8. Anthony Davis had a double-double. And Russell Westbrook had 19 points and 11 rebounds. He wasn't exactly poor, but what is poor is this roster. It's a very poorly constructed one at that. They thought that bringing in Lonnie Walker would be enough and Patrick Beverley to make this a good team. And it's just not. When you look at who they have coming off the bench, Kendrick Nunn, it's nice to see him back after a year off, but he didn't look like Miami Kendrick Nunn on opening night. You've got Austin Reeves. You've got Matt Ryan, not the Colts quarterback, but he might as well be. And then Juan Toscano Anderson as well coming off the bench. So really not a good bench here. They will get Schroeder back at some point, so hopefully that will help. But this is a very poorly constructed team. They may need to make a move if possible, if they're going to have a chance of making the playoffs this year.